happy to change also subjects and to change teams with Noam and Olivier. So Noam Yaron and Olivier Daguet, welcome. Okay, so Noam, it's very interesting to present you because I don't know from which part starting, to be honest. But okay, I will start with math so that I have a good transition with Margot, at least with science. Okay, so Noam, you started a little bit your path in math and physics. You even represented Switzerland for the Math Olympics, right? But then you had a sabbatical year. You were saying maybe you will go to the army, becoming like a pilot, but finally not. So you went to the UK. But anyway, you came back and then you started like making videos. Shortly, you spotted by Coca-Cola. Okay, everybody is not spotted by Coca-Cola, right, when we do video, but he is, okay? So he becomes, for Coca-Cola, a big influencer in Switzerland. So you really learn it the right way. So it, of course, boosted a bit your social media power. You're now around like 50,000 followers, okay? You created your own company when you were 18. And let's say now, I don't know how to transit that, and you will make the transition by yourself. But then we found you in the lake swimming. Okay, so I think, actually, one of the questions, of course, is that why do you swim, actually?
A very good question, thank you. I'm very happy to be here, very excited. I think I'm one of the youngest. I'm not a millennial, actually.
It's okay. We don't talk ages.
I'm a Gen Z,
okay.
So I don't know if I'm welcome here, but anyway. Actually, I discovered swimming by accident, really. I was practicing judo when I was 6-7 years old, and I was quite overweight at the time, a little bit chubby, we can say. And as you know, when you compete in judo, you're competing against people that have the same weight as you. So I was 6-7 years old and competing with people from 10 to 14 years old. At that time, it's a really huge difference in size, muscle, experience. I mean, they're 1,000 times more mature than I was. I was not so bad at it, but I got really bad injury from falling, of course, and my doctor said, listen, you have to stop this before you are getting really, really injured, and you have to choose between rowing and swimming to build up back your back strength. So you all know the story. I decided to pursue swimming. And actually, I was very, very uncomfortable in my body. I was kind of, as I said, a little bit overweight, nothing crazy. But, you know, at that time, children are easy to point finger at you. And it wasn't easy, but I loved swimming so much. I was so at peace when in the water. And that's how I decided to pursue it as much as possible, even if I was bad. And one day, like a couple of months after I started, my coach said, listen, I think swimming is not for you. You're not performing. She was right. And actually, she said it's better for you to stop before it's getting too serious and you will waste your time. Let's say that. It was less nice. Remember, I was 8 years old, so not easy to take on that kind of remark. And I said, one of the bravest thing I think I said my entire life, I said, not only I'm not gonna stop there, but I'm gonna keep swimming and be a national champion. And 10 years later, I did. I was the first one from my team. So it was a great achievement.
Of course, we can imagine. And now you keep actually breaking records, swimming in the Swiss lakes, okay? So, why do you swim actually from inside the Swiss lakes, and what's your target? What's your aim?
So after being a Swiss champion, it was actually outside the pool. It was open water swimming. So I discovered the lakes this way. And I decided to pursue, after this national title, a dream of mine, to pursue another one, which was to cross Lake Geneva. We can call it Lake Léman, but for PR reason, let's call it Lake Geneva. It was a very important thing for me. I've grown my entire life, on the shore of Lake Léman, Lake Geneva. And it was a dream of mine to cross it. I crossed it in width. It was 14 kilometers, and in 2021 I decided to do it in length. And it was an 80-kilometer thing in which I had to prepare during 2021. So COVID, no swimming pools. I wish I can come and swim here, actually. The pool looks nice. And I discovered what was at the bottom of the lake when I was swimming during crystal clear, very cold water of the lake. I saw all the waste, all the tires and stuff, and I teamed up with associations and create this wonderful project in 2021, which was Odyssée du Léman. And I broke the record eventually by 3 hours by swimming across this lake and in favor of water preservation.
Okay, and very quick last question. How do you bridge actually sport and the biodiversity also protection and your social media power? How does that make a good combination?
So for me, it's really complementary. Of course, I've learned through all of those experiences that the thing that associations, NGOs, foundations are lacking is communication. It's a very difficult, I would say, task, and often there is no budget for that, no human resources even. And I think my projects are really powerful and complementary in this way to bring associations to just shed a light on a problem, do it properly. So that's why we're also very keen on collaborating with those specialists to get the most impactful, I would say, numbers and share it with the public.
Okay, thank you very much. So Olivier Daguet, welcome also.
Thank you. So, very glad to be here for the second year.
Yes,
thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, so maybe just a few words of your actuality or news, very quick.
Yeah, very quick. The Saint-Exupéry Foundation is creating by the family of the author of The Little Prince in 2009, and we are supporting projects in education with two targets. Young having difficulties to get in the society, and also more and more projects about education about sustainability. This is becoming a very important part of our foundation. Okay. And that's why I want to focus on your activities for the protection of the planet and promotion of sustainability. And I want to tell you, I have a big admiration of what you do.
Merci beaucoup.
Yeah. And for me, you're a kind of little prince.
Thank you.
Yeah, because you have concrete actions like collecting the cigarette filters.
Cigarette butts. Yeah, cigarette butts, exactly.
And also symbolic action like crossing the lakes. So I think it's very, very powerful and very, the panorama of your actions are very wide. Question, do you consider yourself as an activist, some kind of activist or a whistleblower, lanceur d'alerte?
Yeah, if you mean activist like people...
Positive
sense
of the term.
Really? Not the one that put glue on that?
No, I mean activist like...
And bouge de Gothard for 10 hours? No. No, I'm not the kind of activism, but for me what's really important, I think the word is advocacy. Advocacy is really something that is more and more also translating in influencer marketing. A lot of companies call it advocacy. It sounds great, actually. But the real deal is to build, I would say, important projects. For me, it was to use sports for nature. And that's how I think we used, I think till now, the best medium to talk about very important issues, teamed up with important partners to be able to share very exact status of the things. For example, Lake Geneva, Lake Léman, is the biggest alpine lake in Europe, but one of the most polluted. And we look at it and think everything looks great, everything is amazing, and actually 50 tons of plastic is ending up in the lake each year, which is insane.
Is it dangerous to swim in the Lake of Geneva?
It could be actually very dangerous. We had a lot of people coming to me having bad experiences regarding bacteria. So things that you can find after, how can we say that in English? Traitement des eaux usées.
Recycling.
Yeah, thank you.
Recycling.
And that's where all the bacteria, if there is too much water or too much things to filter, it ends up in the lake. And if you swim and actually don't dry your hair, you can end up dead. So not hearing anything. We have a very impactful story from someone that is living in Morges, and is not hearing anything.
Scaring.
Very scary. So that's why I swim with headphones, which are waterproof.
So now you're doing the job of a whistleblower, yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yes, really. You have a lot of activities like promoting the sustainability, sport. Sport is an important thing in your life, and business. How do you manage to combine all this stuff together?
For me, what I did, and I think my presentation summed it up, it's not messy, but I think the point in common with all of that is passion. For me, I was lucky to find out at a very early age what I wanted to do. I experiment a lot of things and try and found out that communication was my thing, sport was my thing, environment became my thing. As you said, Coca-Cola is not a great company. I didn't know that at the time when I was young and influencing, if we can say that. And now I'm very proud with everything that I've learned through this company, because I was 19 years old and leading what we call today influencer marketing in Switzerland, and it was truly an amazing experience to learn all of that with real professional.
It's a very nice achievement. Yes, you and I, we know that it's very difficult to change the bad habits of people regarding the sustainability.
I agree.
For you, what is the key to input a change, a very definitive change in the human habits?
So the psychological aspect is a very important one for us. We are working pretty closely with, I would say, also scientific people, but psychologists that are also interested in how to change human behavior, how the brain works, and how we can advocate and share it like the best practice in our campaigns, because the end goal is definitely not to pick up any cigarette butts in the street, because for me, I don't understand how people do that. It's like you pick up whatever, let's say a yogurt in your fridge, and you threw the waste on the floor, waiting for someone to pick it up. For me, it's nonsense. But it's the world we live in, and I think repetitive actions are very important. That's why I'm also will start in a few weeks my next challenge, the third year consecutively, and hope to achieve even wider audience nationwide and even internationally.
So we should follow your next challenge.
Maybe.
Okay.
It's still confidential.
Okay, it's still confidential. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alors, Noam, what would be a very good next step on a political decision point of view?
Very good question. I think political is one of our key targets when it comes to change. It's a very, very difficult topic, sustainability, biodiversity, protection in general, and conservation. There is a lot of lobby and a lot of money at stake when it comes to things that we do and have done for years and are really bad for the planet. Today, I think the most interesting thing for politics would be to have younger generations, professionals helping us to understand all the incredible impact, and it could be very bad if they don't follow the rules, we can say that. And also, I'm very, very pleased to have joined a new professional adventure with Donna Bertarelli, which is a very well-known investor, but also advocate for the ocean for 20 years now. And I'm the new digital manager in communication. And the goal is really to bring the right message to the right people to make big changes. And we highly participated to I think it was in December, on the new biodiversity and the Treaty of the High Seas, which is insane. So everything that I learned, I would say on my own here, in kind of an entrepreneur in my room doing videos, and then it went globally and now international level and speaking to politicians all around the world. So I'm very grateful for this opportunity.
Okay, so we should follow you up. And then, okay, in terms of impact or generation of revenues or visibility, how do your action actually generate either revenues or visibility?
Very good question. We wanted to make it fun because I would say founding is the problem of 99 startups or whatever things you want to do, of course. And for us, it was how to make people want to invest in us and invest in the project, but in a funny way. So for the Lake Geneva, like Clément again, it was to bet on my arrival time, because the goal was to swim in less than 24 hours. Only 2 men have done that before my attempt. Mm-hmm. And you can bet on various slots of time. It was 4. And actually, I managed to swim way faster than the lowest bet. Okay. So we decided to take all of the winners and pick up some big prizes. We had main sponsors, L'Oréal Group, which was one of the main sponsors. We had Decathlon also, and also the finance industry of Geneva was very involved in this. So it was a very funny way, and we generated across all of our projects, not only this one, but about, I think, 27,000 Swiss francs.
Great.
Good.
Okay. Very good. And maybe a last question for you, Olivier.
Yeah. Well, Little Prince is a fantastic ambassador for the planet. Yeah. It became an icon, a symbol of the global village all over the world. Protection of the planet, because he's pure, he's taking care of his little planet, and it can be used for communication, of course. It has a big impact for communication. So he could be an ambassador of the Swiss lakes, of course. We can do this together.
I would love that.
Let's
actually.
Do it.
Let's go. You committed.
Let's do it.
Okay, good. So you will have a combination with the Little Prince.
Yeah, actually, it depends. The very last thing.
I don't swim so well.
You can come at the arrival with the champagne and. No, for me, last to wrap up, I wanted to say that Noemi said it well. I think sustainability is really not end game; it's a journey, and I think everyone can have a part to play in this. And I hope through this little presentation, the 15 minutes timing that I'm way over, but anyway, will inspire people to join me in this journey and learn from one another and just build a more sustainable future and positive for nature and people.
Okay, thank you very much.
Draw me a lake.
Yes, thank you very much. So it was Noam, bigger than myself, how sport can protect nature.